engine running. Sequence start. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Don't fly the media.
It's the reality show. It's the reality show. It's the reality show. Come and listen. It's the reality show. Come and check me out. Check us out. It's the reality show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Rosemary Lopez with The Reality Show, and we just wrapped up a show tonight titled Pretty Girls Rock, But Not Really. I'm standing here with the beautiful, gorgeous Ms. Magdalene.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well.
Good. Thank you for coming on the show. I feel so short standing next to you. I should have
I'm
brought my
sorry.
heels. Can we just like get
this out,
yeah? Can we balance?
I don't think my thighs are strong enough.
Your quads are feeling
the shake already.
Hey. Eunique, the host over there, is being a hater right now. He's just being a hater. He thinks pretty girls don't rock. But what do you think? Do you think pretty girls rock?
I think pretty girls. I think women rock in general. So I don't appreciate him hating on the pretty girls, thinking that they cannot rock, because I mean, we're women. We rock no matter what.
Right. So all pretty girls maybe don't rock, but some pretty girls rock. Because I think you rock.
Thank you.
I think you're pretty girl. Thank you. See, there we go. So we can't say that pretty girls.
Brains and beauty. It can't be done. It can be done.
It can be done. Exactly. but like we were saying earlier on the show, pretty girls, and we're talking about physical beauty. Pretty girls, because they're so used to, if they're focused on their physical attributes, the ones that do focus on that, that's what they're used to. So they don't feel like they have to work on the mind. They don't feel like they have to work on anything else, because so far they've gotten by with their looks, right? So how do you feel about those women that just get by on their looks? You know what I mean? Constantly. Those pretty women that Eunique is referring to that don't rock is because they are constantly, focused on their looks. And how do you feel about dealing with those women? How do you feel about them?
I think, to me, it's not an issue. I'm sorry.
Wait did you hear that beautiful voice?
To me, it's not an issue with having to deal with women that just live their lives that superficially. That's their own challenge, their own voyage. They're going to have to go on for that self-discovery to get to know themselves. I just actually feel like they've been cheated, because there's so many things that people have inside of them that are worth giving, and beautiful things that people actually possess within themselves. So the fact that they are limiting themselves to one thing, that physical beauty, it might be amazing. You might do your makeup just the best ever, and I'm going to give you a compliment because you're doing something really right. I like your eyebrows. I like your eyebrows.
Thank you.
But I think that that's just something that, they've been cheated on, and I just hope that it doesn't come to anything where it's tragic. I think, that it would be great if they have another influence, someone that's a mentor, someone they can look up to, so that they can actually bring out that beauty inside of them.
And I know the topic was pretty girls rock, but what about the men? What about the pretty men? Have you had to deal with those men that are just...
They're gay.
I wouldn't necessarily call them men. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily call them men pretty.
There's a good gay, and there's just not.
Listen, I wouldn't necessarily call them pretty, okay? Because you don't call a man pretty generally. But you know what I mean.
I do all the time.
You know what I mean? Those good-looking men, and they're just flawless. They look like they just came out of a magazine. Right. And then they open their mouth, and you're like,
wah.
You're like, shh.
Wah.
Yeah. Have you had to deal with a lot of those men?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you start, as their mouth is moving, you start to think of your stuff that you have to do that day. And you're like, okay, I got to remember that I got to go to CVS, and I got to pick up some baby powder, and then I got to run over here and return those shoes. And so it's definitely a reality, but it does actually happen. I think there's definitely more pretty women, the ratio to men. But since it is rare, it's more rare with men, then a lot of times that they are really cocky or really,
Right. And that's such a turn off.
Douchebag. And most of the time you can see it from afar. So if you're reading the signs, you can already avoid that, which kind of sucks. They might have something, worth giving, but again, they are not aware of it. They haven't had to go dig into that or people have been treating them like a stripper
Right.
all the time because they're good
Right.
looking around the body. And
They have the bam and the bam.
right, and so they feel that that's it. Yeah,
Right.
and I don't mind looking at it, but
Right.
they might have more to offer.
Right. And now let's get into. Well, you're a pretty girl, and I'm so grateful that you have not only the looks, but you have the the mind, and you can form complete sentences, and you can get your points across.
Okay.
Yes. So you being a model and an actress, and what else do you do? What else? Your makeup artist.
And background and voiceover, and I think that's maybe it. That might
Maybe
be my
it.
list of jobs right now.
Are you're like head to head with Jay's?
She might have me beat a little bit. I'm trying to keep up.
So do you see, I feel like you stand out a lot, especially when you're in a room full of models, because generally models, that's what they get booked for. They get booked for their looks, you know what I mean, with their, so do you feel like you have an advantage when you also have the brains, because you're, in a sense, you're still doing business, even when you're modeling, or when you're able to do business because you have that brain. So you definitely have that advantage
Thank you.
of having a brain, not just the looks, but she has a brain, and she she has a beautiful soul, this woman. So tell us about what the projects you have coming up. Like, what do you got? What are you working on?
Always with the Mags makeup that I do, that's always, different people that I work on. I did Welcome to Concrete, a music video for them, and Jessica Shore, she's an up-and-coming artist, and so
Right.
I get to, get in where I fit in with any people like that. And then also with modeling, I do a lot of catalog modeling online, so HadariaOnline.com, you can see me under the plus category.
Nice.
And I am plus, and I just say I'm a model, because then I get in where I fit in. Some people
Right.
have their own types, and I'm more curvy. So if you look into the plus size on Hadari online, then you'll see me.
It's because she's the thickums. She's curvy, you know?
What they say, thicker, what do they say? Thicker than a cold jar of peanut butter?
Thicker than a Snicker.
Isn't that awesome? And I'm also doing the Ambush fashion show in San Diego this Sunday.
Nice.
And so I'll
What
be
time?
working, I believe it's at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And Tanya Jenkins, she's the designer that we'll be working with, and she does these fantastic headpieces with feathers and
Oh, wow.
earrings and everything that you've ever possibly wanted to wear. I get to do that.
That's amazing. I love that. You working, girl? You're working.
I'm trying to keep up with you. I'm trying
No,
to
I was
keep
gonna
up
say I'm
with
trying to be
Rosemary.
like
Oh,
you.
her.
So before you go, what advice do you have for those pretty girls that don't rock, that are just focused on their physical, and the men, like people in general who are focused on their physical attributes? Do you have any advice to them? Like, what would you say to them?
The advice that I would give to people that are not really fulfilling themselves is that for everybody in general needs to take the time to actually get to know themselves and do the work, because it is a lot of work. It's scary getting to know yourself, and I think everybody should actually go in and do that. And you should actually read, get out there and find things about you, how to stay positive. You shouldn't just focus on just yourself either. You should focus on other people and learn to be compassionate and be open-minded, because you might miss a lot of experiences. A lot of great, amazing things can happen to you, but if you're so in the box of, how you grew up or how someone else told you should think or feel or live your life, and you're not really going for it, you might just miss out on a lot of opportunities. So
Absolutely.
It's hard. Get in there, do the work, enjoy it, because it's going to be over. The older you get, then everything starts flying by.
Not all of us can look like J-Lo when we're 45,
Right,
okay?
That's real talk. What you guys said earlier, real talk? Real talk.
Real talk. See, I knew that's how we were friends. That's why we're friends. Anyway, we're going to wrap this interview up. Thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
I
I had a really,
appreciate
really
it.
good
Thank
time.
you for keeping it real. And make sure you guys tune in every Monday night, 9 p.m. Pacific time, into the reality show. Until next time, deuces.